Hello, welcome along. Welcome along to today's Stars and Moon and Stars desk break yoga session. And I just thought this was a good theme because one of the things about January, there might not be so many good things about January, but it's the beautiful skies and these clear, dark nights. We had an amazing full moon last week, and last night there was a beautiful half moon as well. Lots of stars out as well. So a nice opportunity to try some poses, which I don't do very often. Particularly the one that we're going to build up to, which is the half moon balance. Can be a little bit challenging, but we'll do some warm ups and things for it, and there'll always be options if you decide that you don't want to do it. So it's something a little bit different for today. Let's begin, as always, though, sitting down on your chair. Any kind of chair is fine. If this is your first time coming, I just use a kind of dining chair. You could do it on any kind of, an office chair or something like that. Probably better not to do it on the sofa, but, really, whatever you've got, work with whatever you've got. And as we go through as well, as I say, I'll give some options and things, but do take care of your body and do what feels good for you. So let's start sitting up nice and tall on your chair. Have your feet nice and firmly planted on the floor. If you haven't done so already, I'd encourage you to kick off your shoes so that you can get your feet, or your slippers if you're at home, and get your feet nicely planted on the floor. And then think about sitting up nice and tall, weight evenly balanced across your both hips, lengthening up through the crown of the head, hands just resting wherever feels right for you. And then I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes or take your gaze down away from the screen. And just take a minute to just drop in. Checking in with the body, how it's feeling today, maybe a quick scan from head to toe. And then checking in with the breath as well. Might feel a little bit uneven if you've been rushing to get here. Just give that a moment just to settle. And just give yourself permission to be here. Trusting that it's a good use of your time. And let's take one nice deep breath together, breathing in and then breathing out. And let's open the eyes. Okay, let's start with some warm-ups for the body. So let's start first of all with some shoulder rolls. So just bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. And trying to get some good movement in here. Don't overdo it. We're just warming up the shoulders, getting a little bit of movement here, checking in with how everything feels today. And then let's take it back the other way. So rolling the shoulders forwards and right. Maybe one at a time, whatever feels good to you. Okay. Then let's do some warm-ups for the head as well. And we'll just turn the face from side to side. Just going as far as is comfortable for your neck. Maybe integrating the breath if you like. Breathing in as we turn to one side, maybe out as we turn to the other. Or something that works for you. Again, we're just warming up here. If there's any crunching or popping, don't worry. As long as it doesn't hurt, it's normal. And then let's even up. So whichever side you went to, let's go to the other side and come back to center. Okay. Let's take some warm-ups for the arms now. So let's just bring the hands down by your sides. Again, sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the crown of the head. And then let's just reach the arms all the way up and over, maybe touching together at the top, but it doesn't matter. And then floating them all the way back down. Stretching up, really lifting up out of the hips and the waist. And then floating the hands back down again. Again, this doesn't have to be the biggest move ever. We're just warming up the shoulders and the arms. Stretching up. And let's make this the last one. Bringing the hands down and having a little bit of a shake out maybe. And then we will do a little seated twist now. I know we often do this at the end of the session, but we're going to be doing most of the session standing up coming on from this. So let's take our little twist now. So sitting up nice and tall, bringing the right hand across to the left knee, and then the left hand around somewhere behind you that works for your body and your chair. And then once you find a good place, lifting up tall, maybe turning the head to look over your back shoulder. Doesn't need to be the biggest twist ever. We're just warming up here. And then back to center. And then we'll take it to the other side. So this time bringing the left hand across to the right knee, right hand around behind, opening through that shoulder, lifting up through the chest, turning the head if it's comfortable for your neck. And then unraveling back to center. Okay. So from there, we're going to come up to standing. And we come to our first moon-inspired posture, and that is crescent moon side bend. We'll start first of all just standing up nice and tall, getting the feet, getting used to being upright, checking in with your weight, making sure you're evenly balanced across both feet, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And then let's bring the arms, reach the arms up and overhead and bring your right hand onto your left wrist. And then think about using that hand to lift that left arm up, first of all, lifting up out of the hip and the waist all the way, and then over as far as is comfortable for you and as you feel you can stay in control. Now trying to keep weight evenly balanced across both feet. And you can see why this is known as the crescent moon side bend. A little bit of engagement through the abdominal muscles to help support this. And then let's think about reaching up to come out and then floating the arms back down. Okay, let's take that over to the other side. So again, just checking in, making sure you're balanced. You haven't sort of ended up leaning over to one side there. Coming back to center, reaching both hands up, but this time taking the left hand around the right wrist, stretching up and then over to the left hand side. Keeping your right foot planted down firmly and enjoying this stretch all the way through the right hand side of the body. And then engaging the abdominal muscles a little bit just to help support you as you come out. Let's reach all the way up, stretch up, and then drop the arms down. Okay. So we're going to move on now to building up to the half moon side bend. We're going to do quite a few warm-ups for it. First of all, just get used to the body, get the body used to the idea of being in that shape. So the first thing we're going to do is some warm-ups for the hips. So I'm going to suggest you use your chair for this, or a wall or something like that to help support you. And I'm going to be doing this on my right leg first. So I've got my left leg nearest to the support. If your support's on the other side, you can do it the other way around. I'm just going to lift my knee up and then make some big circles with that knee, really getting into the hip joint. Stretching that hip out there. So as I say, we're just warming up here. And then let's reverse it the other way. So this isn't doing anything in particular other than just getting right into that hip here. If your balance goes a little bit, just pop your foot down. It's absolutely fine. Okay, maybe a little bit of a shake out, and then we're going to repeat that on the other side. So we've got our right hip nicely warmed up now. Let's do the left hip as well. So bringing your support now onto your right hand side, taking all your weight over onto your right leg, lifting the left leg up, and then just drawing circles with the knee, warming up right into that hip socket. And as I say, with the neck, if there's any kind of cracking or popping, as long as it doesn't hurt, it's not necessarily anything to worry about. It's pain we need to watch out for, or things really feeling kind of like they've been knocked out of place. And then let's bring it in the other direction. So most people are probably opening the hip out. Now we're going to just bring that knee round and in, getting a good stretch all the way into that hip socket. Okay. So we are going to use, for the next few postures, we're going to use the seat of the chair for support, because that's a good height for what we're going to do. If your chair doesn't feel like it's going to be steady enough, you can always use a table or any other kind of surface, but I would suggest use some kind of support for these. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of a twist. So let's come to standing in front of your chair with your hands on the seat of the chair, a bit like you were doing cat pose or something. So you're in this bit like you're on hands and knees. And then I'm going to do it this way, so I can face towards the camera. I'm going to bring my left hand into the middle of the seat and my right hand onto my hip. And then I'm going to think about leading with the shoulder to turn my chest and my upper part of my body round towards the right hand side. So thinking about lifting up from the shoulder, taking that up and back, stretching there. Okay, and then let's bring that back round, and then we're going to repeat that over to the other side. So bringing the right hand this time into the middle of the chair, left hand onto your left hip, and then turning your upper body to the left, leading with the left shoulder, and that come up and round, turning your face with it, trying to keep both feet firmly planted, maybe a gentle bend in the knees, just so you're not jarring there. And then let's bring it back to center. So what we've just done there is kind of the upper body part of half moon pose. Let's have a little look at the lower body part of half moon pose, half moon balance. So for this, we're going to do a kind of warm-up version of a standing balance called Warrior 3. So let's again come to our kind of tabletop position, but with the hands on the chair, feet nice and firmly planted. And then bringing the weight over to the left leg, let's think about lifting the right foot up behind you. Now, it doesn't matter if you only come up a couple of inches off the floor, or if your leg comes all the way up. Either one is fine. So wherever you are, you'll be in the place that's right for your body. Keeping the hips at the moment turned down towards the ground, and the toes are pointing down. So as if you were going to stand. I literally could stand just because of the distance, stand on the wall behind me. So the toes pointed down. And then let's lower that in, and then maybe have a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. And then let's take that over to the other side. So keeping the hands firmly planted, we're taking the weight onto the right foot, and then bringing the left foot out behind you as far as it wants to come, toes pointing down, hips turned down so that your pelvis is still coming down towards the floor, foot reaching away, as I say, as if you were going to stand on the wall behind you. Whatever height that leg's at is fine. And then we'll gently lower that foot down. And I think for a little ease out, we'll just take a downward dog stretch from where we are. So keeping the hands where they are, just walking the feet back, bringing the head down between the upper arms, bending the knees a little bit if you need to, and just having a bit of a stretch through the back, maybe wiggling a little from side to side. That would feel good. But really just having a bit of a stretch through the back, through the hamstrings, the backs of the legs, and just taking a little moment to pause before we come on to trying that half moon balance. Okay, let's walk it back in. Maybe have a little stand up, little moment off the wrist if you need to, give a little shake out. And then let's have a go at this half moon balance. So I'll start first of all doing it on the side facing towards the camera so you can see. So it's a bit of a combination of those two moves that we did. So we're going to bring the left hand to the middle of your chair and the right hand onto your hip. And then maybe checking, and you might want to, I'm just going to come a little bit further away from the chair, but just coming somewhere where you feel like you've kind of got a good balance between the two sides of the body. Then we're going to take all the weight over onto the left foot. So we've got the left foot and the left hand taking all of the weight. And then, a bit like we did in that twist, starting to think about opening up through the right shoulder, and then maybe thinking about bringing the right leg up too. Now this time, and then if you find you get there and you need to adjust the position of your hands or your foot or anything like that, then go ahead and do it. If your foot's down here, that's absolutely fine, brilliant. If you need to adjust the positioning of your foot, then just do that. And toes this time are pointing in the same direction as your body. So unlike when we did the Warrior 3, this time the hips are turning round and opening out to the side. Foot's lifting up. And then maybe if you're feeling really ambitious, you could try lifting up that top arm. But it's absolutely fine if you go, oh no, bring it back down again. Remembering to breathe here, engaging abdominal muscles to help support you. And then let's gently lower that leg, bring the hand down, and have a little bit of an ease out. We'll have a proper ease out once we've done both sides. Okay, so let's give that a go to the other side. If you did give that a go and you think, no, that is not for me at all, and you want to just go back to doing one of the other things that we've already done, then go ahead. Okay, so this time it's going to be the right hand and the right leg doing the work. So right hand in the middle of the chair. If you're on this is one as well where if you're on a wheelie chair, you probably want to use something different like a table. Also as well, if the thing you've got doesn't feel like it's the right height for you, you can always put your elbow down as well. If you're working on something that's a bit higher up, you can put your forearm down too. Okay, so right hand, right leg, ready to go. Left hand onto the left hip, turning that body open to the side. And then now you probably start to feel like that left leg is just ready to lift off. So you can lift it up, see where you end up. This time we're turning the body, turning the hips round to the side. Toes, that foot is flexed, but the toes are pointing forwards. For me, that's kind of towards the camera. Using your abdominal muscles to help support you here. Lifting up again from that shoulder. And then maybe if you're feeling really confident, taking that arm up. But maybe that's for another day. And then bringing the hand back down, the foot back down, turning round. And as I promised, we'll have a proper ease out now. So first of all, we'll take a downward facing dog. So just walking the feet back, having a good stretch through the back and through the legs. And then let's come up and let's do some spaghetti arms. So just letting the arms flop round the body from one side to the other. Releasing the knees, letting the heels come up. So just moving the energy around a little bit, easing out that lower back. Maybe you felt it in the shoulders or the legs. Just giving everything a bit of a shake out. Okay. Well done. Well done. If you gave it a go, that is the most impressive thing. It doesn't matter what your half moon balance looked like. That's a pretty challenging posture to just kind of come in and have a go at on your lunch break. But very good for mental energy as well, and focus and things like that, balances, because they really check in with your concentration. So we've done the moons. We did the crescent moon and that half moon balance. You might be wondering about the star part. And for that, we're just our last posture is going to be a simple star pose. So I'm just putting the chair out of the way. And for star pose, just bring your feet comfortably wide apart. Doesn't need to be huge, just whatever feels right for you today. And then bring the arms up and out to the sides into a sort of an X shape. So you can see here, you're making the star with the 5 points being your head, your arms, and your legs. And then once you come into this shape, I'm going to invite you just to close your eyes for a moment and think about reaching out in all directions. So through the crown of the head, through the tips of the fingers, down into the earth through the feet, all those directions of the points of the star, really reaching out. And then I want you to invite you to visualize a beautiful night sky with stars, maybe a favorite constellation, a bright moon, beautiful sky. And just imagining yourself part of it, shining like one of those stars, taking out up that space for yourself. Then I know your arms are probably getting tired here. You might have noticed this is just pure distraction to get you to keep your arms and your legs where they are. Let's take one more deep breath here. You're doing brilliantly. And then gently open your eyes, walk your feet in, bring your hands in. And I'm going to invite you to just bring your hands to your heart center. Then from here, standing up nice and tall, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes again and check in with how you're feeling. Maybe you're proud of yourself for doing something that you've never done before, or giving something a go. And that certainly is something to be proud of. Please don't beat yourself up if you felt you couldn't do it, if it was hard. That half moon balance is a hard posture. So just by turning up, you've done something amazing. But I hope that has left you feeling maybe a little bit energized, maybe a little bit loosened off, ready to face the rest of your day. So let's take one more deep breath together, in and out. Opening the eyes. Bringing my thumbs up to the forehead, just to say thank you for sharing your time and energy with me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.